Hey there, everybody. Welcome to a new America's Got Talent reaction. We have another performance show coming on Tuesday night. The auditions are continuing. It seems as though Eric Stonestreet is now filling in for Heidi. We haven't gotten to the point where there's no audience just yet, but we will be talking about a couple of auditions that have been posted online, and I think both of these are pretty exciting for a couple different reasons. You've got Alan Silva, aerialist extraordinaire, and then magician Winston, who does a lot of things with cards that really impress me, and this is coming from someone who does not know properly how to shuffle any cards at all. Would you just make that disappear?
Yeah.
I cannot do that. Okay, well, before we dive in, if you guys do like this video, give us a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss any other updates we've got coming up.
Okay, so let's start with Winston, since I just did my amazing card trick that you guys are all going to want to see on HG.
Yeah, we're all in awe of your card skills.
The thing that, I mean, we've seen a lot of magicians, amazing magicians on this show.
Yeah.
And we've seen a lot of card magicians specifically on this show. So if you're going to come here and do a card trick, it has to be really good. So we have a magician who's on here with short sleeves, so straight up. That's not where the cards are coming from. I kind of assumed or tried to catch where they were coming from. I thought maybe he had ripped jeans, that maybe they were coming out of where his knees were because they were exposed. I don't know. That's just my theory. I couldn't tell, so that was A-okay, and I really liked that. The thing that I really liked about him is that he was telling a story with it, and that's not always something that you see with magicians in general.
I like the story. I like the character that he was playing, where he was almost terrified that this was happening to him and these cards were coming out of nowhere. I think really what I appreciated the most out of it is the hand-eye coordination that this sort of thing requires, because I don't know why this is someone who often tries very hard to figure out everything. I know I don't try to figure out too many magic tricks on this show. Like, typically, I'm okay just sort of rolling with it, but even still, I kind of have a sense of some of the mechanics that would be involved here, and to me, the talent is this guy has the ability to catch and maneuver his hands and his fingers to pull all these things out of, quote-unquote thin air. And I'm constantly impressed by it, especially when he starts, like, spitting all of them out from his mouth.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. And he's got the whole arm of cards. He was doing a lot with, like I said, short sleeves, which is usually where I'm expecting cards to be coming from. I'm not sure where they're coming from. And I love that. It really felt like magic. He did a great job telling me a story, showing me his trick. I'm very interested to see what else he's going to do.
I love that America's Got Talent is moving in this direction with magicians, where it's sort of all technical based. If you think a few years ago, we had a lot of the sort of classic, I'm going to get behind a curtain, and then the curtain's going to go up, and then it's going to go down, and now I'm not here, and now I'm behind the judges, surprising them. It's like we saw that trick about 1,000 times, and people are getting creative now, and we're seeing a lot of really good technical magic, where it's a lot just sort of about sleight of hand and how good you are at sort of making people look one way and doing something else. And Winston is very, very young. This is somebody who, most people Winston's age, you're starting to just figure out how to get up and make breakfast in the morning. I don't really think you're in the process of figuring out, okay, how can I make cards pop out of your mouth? It's usually vomit after partying the night before. So this is different.
I was a very different 21-year-old.
Yeah, well, I think we all were very, very different 21-year-olds than Winston or the person who was partying.
Yeah, I wasn't doing that at 21, but I was kind of a nerd. But maybe so was Winston if he's practicing magic at that age.
Yeah, Winston is a magic nerd, and that's fine. Join the club of nerds, and also join the club of people likely to make it fairly far.
Yeah, and I'm excited about that idea. I mean, I was just looking at sort of who we've seen already and some of how many singers are on this season. It is crazy already, and we have not even finished the auditions yet. So And I mean, incredible singers. This is a really stacked competition if you are a singer on this show this season. So to compete against that, which we already know, America loves singers. They love to vote for singers, and they love to vote for kid singers. And man, that is also stacked this season. So if you're going to come on and be a magician, you need to beat that out on top of beating everybody else out, and it's tough. But I think that Winston has a good chance at that.
I think so. I think it helps him, too, that it doesn't feel like there is a huge lineup of magicians this season. I don't feel like we've had as many as in years past. And it's interesting because we're not that far removed from Shin Lim winning this show.
Yep.
You would think that maybe there were a lot of magicians who audition and they're all kind of doing the same thing as Shin Lim and they don't want that. I don't really know. But I think as long as Winston comes back, it does something a little bit different. It doesn't use cards in the same exact way. Shows versatility. He's got to make it fairly far, and I would be really kind of bummed if he doesn't, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I agree.
All right, so the second act we'll discuss here is Alan Silva, and this one is exciting. I love Deadly Games. They are one of my favorite acts of that sort of variety. I'm still in awe of like all the weird target tricks that they did, and so even just the brother of Alfredo from Deadly Games, who was, by the way, just totally nice and completely opposite of a guy who throws knives on stage.
Yeah, it was so nice to see him in the audience supporting his family. I loved seeing Alan's family on the side of the stage and his son being like, yeah! I was like, oh, this is so good. I like it so much. I mean, you could just see the smile on Alan's face right before he performed, which is, totally the opposite of what he was doing when he was performing, how serious he was. It's like, all right, I'm trying to get into the character now. Yeah, Dad! And just that big smile. I was like, oh, it's so good.
Can we talk about how ripped he is? Because it was just like, this guy is just like jacked. Like Terry Crews level. Just like so, I mean, I guess you have to be to do this sort of thing.
You have to be that ripped and have that kind of muscle strength to do what he does and be able to catch himself and swing around like that, hold himself up. I mean, you got to be jacked, but he was jacked.
Yeah, the degree of difficulty on this is it's so tough because Magic, I know that I would never be able to do what Winston does, but I at least feel like, okay, I can attempt it. Like, I can grab the cards. I don't know if I can attempt. Let's go up this, like, curtain sheet thing and try to dangle in various places. 10 seconds until I fall on my head.
I can't imagine the hours that goes into that. And I'm not saying that that doesn't happen with Winston as well, but seeing what Alan did on those silk ropes, and him even saying that his wife and kids haven't seen what he's done, I can't imagine how many hours that takes for them to never have really had a chance to see this. Like, that's some dedication, a very supportive family, because I'm sure he's gone for hours and hours and hours doing this.
Yeah, you gotta be, and the
it
thing
shows how much work he put into this.
The thing that's tough to me about these acts is we've seen so many aerial acts over the years, and even Do Transcend is still very fresh in our heads and how good they are. Good. You need to have something more. You need to have either a compelling backstory or a really good ability to emote when you're performing and doing this, so that it doesn't feel like, oh, we're just watching another person and we've all become kind of numb to the level of danger here. But I felt really like Alan was very endearing and likable, and I thought he connected well to his music. He chose good music. He moved around, and it felt like there was legitimate danger, and I didn't think he was gonna fall, and I didn't think AGT would put something like that on TV, but I still felt engaged from start to finish, and that's so important with an act like this.
When he swang around and then let go, where it felt like he was just gonna fly out into the audience, I was scared, and I knew he wasn't gonna fall. Like, I knew it in my heart, but it didn't stop me. Like, when I saw Sophia be like, I was like, yep, that's happening over here too. I'm feeling exactly the same with that. So he did a great job. I really can't wait to see what he does next, because with other acts that are aerial acts like we've seen with Duo Transcend, you do have to keep upping the ante. And if you're swinging around. It looks like you're going to fly out into the audience. I mean, where do you go from there?
I don't know, and I don't even know how.
You set them on fire?
Oh boy, Alan, run for cover now. But there's a lot of uncertainty of even about how I don't know how you see these two moving forward without them being in a studio or whatever else. But tomorrow's episode is not the last audition show. Sounds like there's going to be at least a couple more, maybe beyond it. Maybe we're going to have some sort of break. I saw on Google when you search for the show that the judge cuts aren't happening until late July. Maybe they're planning to have them in studio. We don't know yet, but just thought we'd give you like an update as to what's being buzzed about at the end of this.
Yeah, things are, of course, still really uncertain. I don't know how we get to see Alan do something like this, if it is what they did with like American Idol or Voice, where it's like, oh, now we're gonna watch Alan at home, like swinging from his chandelier. I don't know what's gonna be happening here.
If you do swing from the chandelier, Alan, I got a good song for you to do. But no, I have no idea how they will make that work. But for now, I'm happy we got a couple good variety acts on a season that has been very singer heavy.
Yep.
With this, what do you guys think about Winston and Alan? Do you think that they have a very good chance of moving forward? Let us know in the comments, and if you do like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking that link in the description to the store, and we'll see you here next time.